Since switching from our classic wooden floor desk to the uphill low desk late last year, we've been thinking about how to put together our ideal workspace for 2025 and beyond.
With the larger tabletops comes the luxury of space that we didn't have before. We thought about all the ways we could maximize that space with elaborate desk accessories, but ultimately decided to go with minimal, functional, and attainable.
We'll be going through our desk essentials, from the expected staples to the unique and unorthodox items you won't see in other setups.
Just like before, we have contrasting themes to suit our very different personalities.
HL's brighter personality,
And I guess Glow's darker personality.
fire and ice, yin and yang, will light or darkness prevail in the end? You can be the judge.
Since we went with white tabletops, we relied on desk mats to reintroduce some color and establish our light versus dark theme. I have the Mat 2.0 from the lovely folks at Lima, a couple-run design studio based in Portugal. When we first opened up the parcel, we were fascinated as we couldn't put a finger to what color this was exactly. Then we put it onto our plain white desk and noticed a hint of beige to the grey. So maybe greige is how we would describe it. This adds a subtle warmth to the desk, which I actually really like. The mat is made from a blend of recycled leather and natural rubber, and it has this smooth, matte texture that feels incredible to the touch. It's also super thin, integrating nicely with the desk.
I didn't want my setup to be too monochrome, so I deviated from my usual black desk mats and went with the darkest of browns. Very bold, I know. It was surprisingly difficult to find a leather mat with the right shade of brown I wanted, let alone one that didn't exceed $100. Then we came across Galen Leather, a Turkish family-run business, and they had a dark brown desk pad that was close to what I was looking for. It's made from vegetable-tanned full-grain leather, it feels well made, and it comes in a rich, deep brown color with a light sheen to it, making it look quite premium. Both desk mats really elevate the vibe of the workspace and sets the tone for our respective light and dark themes. As always, you can find links to all the items mentioned in the description. You don't have to, but if you wish to support the channel, do consider purchasing with our affiliate links.
And here's a bonus tip to make your online purchases a little more secure while saving a bit of money at the same time. Not too long ago, I had a fraudulent charge on my credit card bill, possibly as a result of a data breach. Since then, whenever purchasing from a new online store, I would consider using Revolut's single-use virtual cards, where the card number regenerates after each purchase to be better protected against any card misuse. Revolut is a financial super app with more than 50 million users worldwide, and one of our favorite things about it is the convenience when traveling. It lets you exchange and hold more than 35 currencies at very competitive rates, which means we no longer have to worry about awkwardly carrying a bunch of cash when on holiday. Because of the excellent exchange rates, we've also started using Revolut to make certain online purchases. For example, a few of the brands mentioned in today's video only accept payment in US dollars, whereas our local currency is Singapore dollars. If we were using our bank's credit card, we would be dealing with unfavorable exchange rates. So on top of the added security from using virtual cards, we can also save a bit of money by paying with Revolut. It takes a few minutes to create an account, it comes with a free plan, and if you sign up with our link or scan this QR code, you get a $30 cashback. So make sure to take advantage of that. Keyboards are the centerpiece of a desk setup, and we definitely went down a small rabbit hole when picking ours. I have the Bridge 75 by Shoutout Studio. It has an aluminum case, which makes it heavier and much more solid than the plastic keyboards I'm used to. One of the main advantages of custom keyboards is how customizable they are. I wanted a color scheme that was minimal, but not too boring, and that's where these foundation keycaps come in. It has an understated neutral base, but there are also accent keys that provide a subtle pop of color, adding playfulness to the workspace without being overwhelming. The Bridge 75 already sounds and feels very pleasant to type on right out of the box, and paired with keycaps that give it a ton of character, I think it's a real winner.
I was previously using a black keyboard on a black desk mat, but I felt like the keyboard just kind of disappeared into the background. This time, I wanted to create some separation and contrast, so I looked for a silver case. When I first saw the Polygon 7 by Daring Run, I just knew it was the one. It has my preferred compact layout in the center, plus extra reprogrammable keys on either side. It's a unique layout that has just the functionality I've been looking for. It comes as a bare bones kit, which means we have to complete it with our own switches and keycaps. For switches, I went with some inexpensive but still impressive light tactile switches from Echo. For keycaps, I think the classic white on black, when done well, is still an unbeatable look. So I went with the Obscura keycap set by Mode Designs. Like we said, we went down a small rabbit hole with custom keyboards. The Bridge 75 and Polygon 7 may not be inexpensive keyboards, but those who are in the hobby will tell you they are actually superb value for money. Think of these as premium economy or business class. They may not get a job done much faster than economy class, but they certainly provide a much better experience. And considering how much time we personally spend in front of our keyboards, we think a better experience could be worth spending on. I used to own the first version of the popular MX Master mouse, but the material started breaking down after 2 years, and since then, I've had trust issues with spending that much on a mouse. The Keychron M6 costs about half the price of the MX Master series and has most of the features that I've missed from its more expensive and popular counterpart. Most notably, a thumb wheel, which I've mapped to volume control, and a fast, free-scrolling mouse wheel, a must-have feature for me, yet surprisingly hard to find. And it comes in black and white color options, perfect for our contrasting setups. All in all, the M6 is a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none type of mouse. It's not as comfortable or premium as the MX Master series, but if it stays intact for at least a couple of years, as all mice should, then it's already a much better deal in my opinion.
I did one of those quick online hearing tests recently and found out that I apparently have the hearing of a 70-year-old. So my criteria for speakers is that they produce sound. Jokes aside, the Creative Pebble series are very popular speakers and for good reason. They are affordable, have a small footprint, I think they look quite adorable, and according to healthier ears, sound more than decent for its low price. We may also be a bit biased towards Creative since they are actually a Singaporean brand. One USB-C cable for both audio and power also makes cable management easier. Also, I've heard from my guy who does the cable management.
I don't mean to brag, but my hearing age is way below my actual age. For my much less compromised ears, I went with the Edifier M60s. They are more compact than I expected, but have bigger sound than its size would suggest. The sound signature is relatively neutral and balanced, which is what I prefer. A good-looking pair of speakers automatically sounds better, and these have a clean and minimal aesthetic.
Because we work beside each other, it doesn't always make sense to be playing music or watching videos through our speakers. To avoid disturbing each other, we also use wireless earbuds, the same pairs we bring with us when we're out and about. Mine are the Edifier Neo Dots.
And mine are the Earfun Air Pro 4. Both sound excellent, both have multi-point, which means we can connect to multiple devices simultaneously and switch between them seamlessly. While we love the convenience of wireless earbuds, we also acknowledge they're not buy-it-for-life items. Batteries degrade over time. Otherwise, fully functioning earbuds can become too inconvenient to use when the small and non-replaceable batteries degrade past a certain point. By choosing earbuds with better battery life, we can theoretically use them for a longer period of time, and less frequent replacements should mean less e-waste. The Air Pro 4 has way above average battery life, up to 11 hours on a single charge, and the case can fully charge the earbuds another 3 to 4 times.
The new dots can last up to 17 hours on a single charge, and the case charges the earbuds fully about another 2 times. And in a happy coincidence, the sand white color of the new dots almost perfectly matches Lima's desk mat, adding to the coherence of my setup's aesthetic. When not in use, we keep our earbuds in the Modeco Revolve. We thought about having more storage solutions like desk shelves or monitor risers, but in the end, a single fidget-friendly revolving tray box was enough for our loose objects like stationery, lens cloth, and USB dongles. As per tradition, I also custom-made wallpapers to match our setups. This new set is called Dunes, a concept Glo wanted for his phone, but we also have them in desktop sizes. If you're interested in rocking these wallpapers, you can check them out on our web store.
The objects that are on our desks have been pretty standard affair so far, but our chairs are where it starts to get a little more unorthodox and unique. The Ikoko meditation bench from the Canadian company Blue Coney is one of my favorite additions to our workspace. Before this, I would sometimes use our step stool as a makeshift kneeling stool. It works in a pinch, but it's just slightly too high, and a hard, flat surface can get uncomfortable after a while. The arched design of the Ikoko bench not only gives it a sophisticated aesthetic, it also contours to our anatomy, making it suitable to sit on for extended periods of time. Not that I recommend sitting for an extended period of time, but if I had to sit still and focus on getting things done while maintaining good posture, this is what I would reach for. I'm less flexible, so I went with the tallest 20cm bench, while HL has the 18cm. One downside of this design is that while it makes the kneeling seiza position more comfortable, it's not really meant to be used for other sitting postures.
The van design sitting cushions are another staple in our rotation. By default, it comes filled with buckwheat hulls, which we would have much preferred. Unfortunately, due to our constant hot and humid conditions, they can become a breeding ground for bugs and mold, so we had them replaced with synthetic beads. These floor cushions don't specialize in any particular posture like the Ikoko bench, but it allows for a greater variety of sitting positions. It's an odd thing to say, but the Air chair, also by Van Design, is the most conventional chair in our workspace. For those of you who sit at a regular desk, a stability ball can be a good way to encourage more dynamic, active sitting. The Air chair is essentially a stability ball with an upholstery-grade fabric cover. They're fun, functional, and some of the designs can really make a statement. I mean, how cool is it to have a moon in our office?
So, light mode versus dark mode, which one do you think won? Or maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe, just like how day complements night, is precisely the contrast that makes the space work.